Can Reddit really help you improve as an artist, or is it just a waste of time to even try? Well, let's find out. Now, as a quick answer, yes, I would argue that Reddit can actually help you sometimes. Keyword sometimes. As for the breakdown of all this, let's actually get into it. Now, this video will be divided into two parts. The first dealing with asking advice on improving your actual work, while the second part will deal with asking advice when troubleshooting the programs you use and the errors or mishaps encountered on your end. So you've drawn or sculpted something for the first time, and now you are curious as to whether it's good, bad, you're not sure how to improve, and you don't really know anyone that draws, so you decide to post it on one of the many Reddit art groups looking for advice. Alright, so obviously I posted this as a joke, but I got quite a few replies and quite a few views. As you can see, 31 replies. Well, half of them are mine, so just me replying to other people, but most of them are actually kind of sarcastic. This one is like, it looks super realistic, masterpiece, I think it's perfect. It looks incredible if only I had enough money to buy the STL. Nice. I mean, with some minor fixes, right? You know, some of them asking, they're trying to be a little bit constructive here. So is this supposed to be a skull or a human head? Is it supposed to be stylized? Right, and then I did actually get one of those rare replies where I said someone will actually try and seriously help you out, and this person said, you know, as an old art teacher, couldn't help myself. And then here is just, you know, giving the feedback. He's also saying, you know, what type of feedback do you want? What's your goal? Basically saying the topology is a little too dense from the start, so start a little bit lower. The low subdivision can be as low as you want, but you know, try and work things out, push the big shapes. So one thing I would add to his advice is don't sculpt something so complicated, right? No one told me that. No one said, hey, you know what, this is a little too complicated for you, given that you're a beginner. I mean, I'm not a beginner, but obviously, right, given what I posted. So, you know, start off with something a little bit more simple, like a bowl of fruit or a fruit, or something like a kid's toy, right? Where it's, even if you mess up the proportions, no one's really going to call you out on that. So no one really mentioned that. But as you can see, one really good answer, and then the rest are, you know, a little bit of sarcasm, a little bit of, you know, kind of okay responses, but for the most part. So yeah, again, I posted this as a joke, but this post alone showed kind of the summary of what I think of Reddit. So yeah, there you go, right? So yeah, with that piece out of the way, back to the original video. And of course, the go-to line that you'll always find is, you should work more on your fundamentals. Now, these are all very generic answers, and each one takes months, if not years, to improve, and the major fault here is that it's not a concentrated answer, just a general guide for what to work on. I'm not saying it's bad advice, but a lot of people replying will usually be pretty much mediocre themselves, no offense, or just giving an opinion. Now, you can check the validity of the person by simply going to their profile and checking their posts. This also reveals that there are some weird ass Reddit groups out there, like, is my nose weird or not? Anyway, we're getting off topic here. The point is, you are mostly going to get generic answers that don't really look at your individual problems. But sometimes, very sometimes, you will get a rather descriptive and helpful answer from someone who clearly knows what they are talking about. Now, this is somewhat rare, but it's also a good thing, as it can help you actually improve. And herein lies the problem. It takes a lot of posting and random asking to get an answer from someone who can actually help and actually knows what they're talking about. By the way, I'm not saying that you should never post on Reddit because of this, as sometimes even someone with no knowledge can help you identify an obvious problem. When I did this sculpt of Robert De Niro, someone actually pointed out the nose being off somehow. Someone also got angry and pointed out these political beliefs, which I don't care about, as most celebrities are freaking idiots, and after analyzing it, the nose, not his political ideologies, I noticed that the commenter was right. Now, this advice is a double-edged sword, because I know how to sculpt, and if someone says it looks off, I can diagnose the problem myself, as I've sculpted and drawn many noses. It might, on the other hand, throw off a novice who might make things worse because of the generic "it's off" answer. So yes, taking advice from Reddit needs to be done with a massive filter, and the best thing to do would be to ask actual artists what they think. And you might say, well, I don't know anyone, and this is where you need to take the leap and start building connections, like joining groups, commenting, asking talented individuals for advice, etc. And if that's still giving you trouble, you can always join my Discord, and I'll try to help you where I can. Yes, this was a really long ad to get you to join my Discord group. Alright, so now that that first part is out of the way, let's look at the other type of advice you're bound to ask for. Troubleshooting the programs you're using to actually make your art. Now here I'd say it's the opposite of the previous section. People are far more helpful and knowledgeable, and also there's tons of people that either have had the same or similar problems that already asked the question and have received a ton of help. To be honest, the only thing that might throw you off is when you start troubleshooting your own real-time renders and normal maps. And also, unless your problem is super specific and you're terrible at explaining it, you shouldn't have too much trouble getting a good amount of support from the community. Be it Blender, ZBrush, Maya, etc. Everyone is unbelievably helpful and you should get an answer relatively quickly. So yeah, as you can see, this side of things, it's a lot more sunnier and it's a little bit more helpful. But the first part, like I said, it's a little bit more hands-on, and sometimes people are just trying to help you out, but they can't really give you the best answers because they themselves aren't the experts at everything. Anyway, another thing I forgot to mention or whine about are the Reddit mods. Oh man, it feels like you're fighting an uphill battle with these dudes. There are so many rules that seem arbitrary, if I'm being honest. And yes, I know bots are a problem, but like a maniac who needs to get his fix, people will always find ways to bypass you. But yeah, this is more for finished works and continuous posters, but just thought I'd throw that in. So wrapping this up here, Reddit can be useful at times, but is mostly filled with people giving opinions or answers too generic to actually help your drawing skills as an individual artist. This is balanced by asking the pros or joining my Discord, checking out my blog, or watching more of my helpful free and paid tutorials. Maybe let me know some things you've been struggling with and I might be able to help, and of course I'll catch you in the next one.